long does it take to save a life? 10 minutes? 60 minutes? Or even 90 minutes? This is the story of people taking action. 4 neighbors from Minnesota jumped to action when they saw a man collapse on the frozen sidewalk outside of their homes. When they got to the patient, they realized he was not breathing, and they immediately began CPR. The patient, who is 54 years old, had had a massive heart attack, and his chances of survival were dropping by the second. 12 people took turns keeping compressions going on this man's chest until first responders arrived. They did this for 96 minutes. 96 minutes to save a life. After a quadruple bypass, this man walked out of the hospital. But without the action of those 4 individuals, he would have never survived even to get to the hospital. I am very passionate about helping people, and my career choice reflects that. I want to be a nurse. I want to be the helping hand in a difficult situation. I want to be that life raft in the storm of life for someone that needs it. Our society has a double standard. We expect to be helped, but we don't act to help another. Everyone, every single person has the responsibility to act if it is within their power to do so. First responders call this the chain of survival. You are that vital link in the chain. You could be the difference between somebody having the best chance of survival and a definite death sentence. Today I will be speaking about a story of myself taking action, a story of me taking action to help prevent an injury, and also how the drive to act and help people has really influenced my life. So let me ask you all of this. In an emergency, what would you do? Would you walk by? Would you stop and stare? Or would you stop and help? I live in a rural area in Mission where the roads are twisting, turning turnpikes that many people don't drive responsibly. They don't drive for the conditions. Every winter, we have at least 1 car accident, and that's on a good year. I was 12 years old. My mother and I were at the mailbox checking the mail when we heard the screech of tires, the squeal of the car on its side, and the boom of the car hitting the pole. We rushed over to help as my neighbors came as well. We heard the driver screaming for help, screaming for anyone, screaming for anybody that could hear her. My neighbors extracted her from the mangled vehicle, and me being the smallest one, I had to climb through the vehicle, shut the car off, and make sure everything was shut down as there were fluids seeping across the blacktop, which really, really can be dangerous. This woman was very lucky. She was in shock. My mother was administering first aid on her, and we all stayed with her until first responders came. It could have been a lot worse. But when we went on the scene, we did not know if she was going to have devastating injuries. She was very lucky, and we chose to act. We heard her pleas, and we chose to help no matter what the danger was. There are times that taking action can not only help someone injured, but maybe even prevent injury itself. I was a teenager. I went to parties, and one weekend my friend and I went to a party, and I was the designated driver. I only had my new drivers, which means that I could only drive 1 person in my vehicle, which was fine. We were all having a good time. Everybody was having fun. Everyone was happy. I noticed a classmate of mine was very drunk and she was fumbling for her keys and her mood had dropped, had shifted, and she was trying to rush out, but she was stumbling everywhere. I followed her in concern and found her outside trying to get her car keys in the key holder, saying, "I need to leave, I need to leave, I need to leave." I didn't know this girl very much, so I had a choice to make. I could let her go because we didn't know each other well and, oh, she'll be fine. Or I could take action and help her. There are many, much too many fatalities from drunk driving on the road. And I could not live with myself if I let her go. I had the ability to take action, and I took that. The drive to help people is one of the major reasons I chose my profession. As a prospective psychiatric nurse, I want to help those that cannot help themselves. I want to help families that do not know how to care for a loved one. And I want to help make a difference. In psychiatric nursing, action is vital. Mental illnesses are unexpected at the best of times, so it is imperative to act immediately for the best outcome of the patient. When I was young, it was ingrained in me to act. My parents raised me that way. For example, when I was 3 years old, my father cut his leg open with a chainsaw, and I immediately grabbed towels to place them on the wound. My parents taught me to act fast, act quickly, and act to help. We expect someone to help us when we're hurt, but we don't think to reciprocate. You may think doing this could cost me an arm and a leg, but for someone without you, it could cost them their life. We as humans need to stop and stand up and be the shining light for someone immersed in the darkness of turmoil. These double standards need to stop. I believe in the importance of action. There are many things in life that we cannot do, so we should take advantage when we're able to. So let me ask you this question once more. In an emergency, what would you do?